Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Saturday, March 22nd. So, what are we going to be talking about today? As you well know, I go off the rails on the weekends, right? So, I thought we'd talk about your net worth, and it's not what you're thinking. Stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back. My name is Eric, and yes, this is the weekend, March 22nd. So, what are we talking about today when it comes to net worth? I don't know if you're like me, but at times I find myself trying to prove my net worth to others to be accepted. And the real fact or the real truth is, why are you even feeling like you have to measure up to someone else? I mean, this is you, it's not them, right? I mean, we all at times want to be better than what we are. And some of the things that I've learned over the years is you have to accept you for you with all your flaws. Am I saying not to try to be a better you? Absolutely not. You should always try to better yourself, right? But you need to do it for you, not for somebody else. Don't allow someone else to tell you how good you are unless they're telling you you're good enough. See, a lot of times starting in high school, grade school, we try to fit in, right? And at times we become someone that we're really not because we so much want to fit in with the in crowd. And what I can tell you is when you try to be someone that you're not, it tears you apart from the inside. And I've done this numerous times to my ripe old age of 62 to know that it's true. That I'm a lot happier when I'm not trying to be someone that I'm not. See, some of the things that we call undesirable traits are actually our quirkiness, the things that make us special and unique. I'm the type of person that says you should always try and better yourself in whatever you want to accomplish. In whatever you want to accomplish. Not what somebody else sets for standards. What is it that you want to get out of life? You need to ask these questions and you need to have answers without outside interference or influence, right? Because if you sit there and you try to do everything that your parents want you to do, that your family wants you to do, you feel like you're living a lie. And in actuality, you are living a lie. Because you've taken on this persona of someone that they want you to be. Now, I'm not saying to be, a dropout or a couch potato. Not even close. But you need to have your own hopes and dreams. Each one of us are unique. That's the way God made us. We have a lot of similarities. We are a social creature. We love to be loved. We love to love others. We enjoy happiness, but we also endure sadness. Right? There's so many things that I've changed over the years. I used to be, I've gotten to the point where I try to lead a simple life. And why is that? Because just give me a little bit of time, and I'm sure that I will have complicated it to the point of where it's just crazy. It's not easy being me. You have to work at it. And if you find that you do the same, how do we uncomplicate things, right? Why can't we just keep it at the simplest form? Why isn't the simplest form good enough? These are all good and valid questions that I'm putting out there for you to ask yourself as well. Why do I do that? Because I think that we're a lot alike in certain areas. You know, when I say we're a social creature, we need to have love, companionship, friendship with other people. If not, then you're a narcissistic bastard. That's all I can say. Or egotistical that you think everything revolves around you. I don't. Not even close. I think most of my existence I go unnoticed. And I do that on purpose. I don't need to be the center of attention. I don't need that outside thing to tell me I'm okay. Do I have times where I get overwhelmed or miss somebody that's no longer with us? Yes. I remember being told when I was younger that men keep their feelings in check. Men don't cry. Well, I got news for you. Most men cry. If you're a woman and you're listening to this, most men cry. They may not cry in front of you or in front of the family, but they cry. That's what real men do. And why would you cry about something? It's because you cared that much. There's nothing wrong with caring about things in general. Caring about things, about caring about people. It's caring about that person that you felt really understood you that may no longer be here today. Because I hear so often people tell me, Eric, people just don't understand me. Since my surgery, it's changed how I do things. I'm not the person I was prior to the surgery. I try to be, but I'm not. And I'm smart enough to know I'm not. The person prior to the surgery had a lot of self-confidence. Really didn't care what other people thought. Not in a narcissistic way, but just I would take it into consideration, but I always felt to each their own, right? I was able to quickly think on the fly and come up with great answers. And I find that now that has kind of At times I lose my train of thought. At times I can't come up with words. At times I can't have normal conversations with people. I can't even make these videos as fluid as they used to be. I have to edit things out of where I'm like a deer in the headlights, of not knowing what to say. I always used to know what to say. I always used to know what to do. Now, I'm second guessing myself a lot. I try to sit there and think of what a word is that I'm trying to remember. And then when I finally remember the word, I forgot why I was even looking for that word. You know, but family and friends try to reassure me and say, welcome to old age. Or you were under anesthesiology for a long period of time and it could have effects for up to a year, year and a half. I understand all that. I do. But I also know that this brain was deprived of oxygen. And it had to have melted down a few of these brain cells. So I have to accept me just like I would someone with a disability. Are they flawed? Absolutely not. So why do I feel I'm flawed? Because I'm trying to remember back to the good old days. What were the good old days? Working long hours, smoking like a fiend, drinking at night so that I could relax and get some sleep. That was my good old days. Now I don't smoke, I don't drink. I'm still up for any of you guys' suggestions on bad habits. Because I gotta have at least one, right? I tried swearing and it's just not me. I'm too old for porn. What does that leave? But no, I mean, it goes back to how much you measure up to yourself. It really does. If you feel good about yourself internally, there isn't one word from somebody else that can make you feel less than. And I know what you're going to say. Well, if I don't care what other people think, then that makes me egotistical, narcissistic. No, it doesn't. I'm not saying that you don't care what other people say. I'm telling you that you don't feel the need to have to prove to other people anything. You don't need to prove your net worth to anyone. You don't need to prove that you're good enough. Good people will accept you for who you are. Good people will sit there and look at you and wonder what's going on when you try to be somebody other than who you are. Just something to give some thought to. It's not going to be a long video this morning. It's just you have to understand that we all at times feel less than. You have to understand that we sometimes we feel that we're not good enough. And it doesn't hurt sometimes to hear somebody tell you that you're good enough. If you ask the right people, they will tell you that. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. But I think you get the point. Is that we all feel less than at times. And that's okay. That's human nature. But if you're feeling less than all the time, then we need to work on it, right? We need to find out why you feel that you are less than and convince you that you aren't. Because you aren't. You are good enough. You don't need to measure up to anybody. You don't need to prove your net worth. You're perfect just the way you are. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. That's life in general. But the goal is to have more good days than bad days, right? And the way to have more good days than bad days is to stop trying to be something that you're not. Accept who you are. And connect with the people that have always thought you were good enough to start with. So on that note, you guys have a great Saturday. Put in the comments what you think. Really curious to know. All right, catch you here bright and early for the Sunday sermon.